Hello there, good afternoon and welcome to News Today. We're live from our studios here in Kokomlimle, Accra. We're also live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125. I'm MFA Akosiadeti. Coming up this afternoon, soldiers comb Dampia forest for crashed helicopter wreckage as aviation experts search for answers in last Wednesday's fatal crash. Preliminary forensic results on the deceased are expected within the next 12 hours.
It's beyond burying, trying to establish what happened, how things went, so that we avoid it into the future. We've been working around the clock just to speed up everything. We are hoping that in the next 6-12 hours, they will be able to give us some results.
President John Mahama rallies the nation to rise above divisiveness and resist political point scoring as the country mourns Dampia helicopter crash victims.
This is not a time for division, speculation, or political point scoring. It is a time for strength, for empathy, and for the enduring Ghanaian spirits that still stands tall when all else has failed.
Under the news today, another chopper made an emergency landing in the central region just an hour before the Ashanti region tragedy. We'll speak to the Aircraft Investigative Department. We have business, sports, showbiz, and news from elsewhere around the continent. Join News independent, fearless, credible. Please stay for details. Thank you for staying. And President John Mahama is urging national unity and restraint from political point scoring in his first public address following the tragic military helicopter crash that claimed the lives of 2 ministers of state and 6 others in the Ashanti region. This afternoon, Joy News is back at the base where this tragedy struck. At Dampia Akrofom, investigators are working around the clock and preliminary forensic test results on the deceased are expected within the next 12 hours. My colleague Emmanuel Bright Kuku is on the ground in Obuasi with the latest. Bright, what's happening?
All right, so MFA, as we are currently here, we are in the Sikaman Bofiedu community where the incident happened, and just about some few minutes ago, the Member of Parliament for this area and also the District Chief Executive for this area, together with the military men, met with the community members. We do not know what really happened during this engagement with them, but we understand that the forest has been cordoned off, and so community members, that's the community or residents here who own farms in there are unable to actually go inside because this is a security zone. It's for investigation purposes, and so they will need for them to cooperate so that they can actually gather all the parts of the wreckage for them to ensure that any evidence is not tampered with. We'll try and engage with the Member of Parliament for the area and find out more from him what the engagements with the community members are, and also really ascertain what is the next step from the military themselves. And also, Honourable Member, sorry, I want to really engage you on this. I just saw you speaking with community members and some military officers. I want to know what really transpired there.
I think it's a very sad day. This happened 3 days today. We are a constituency where we are fighting to get development. We want to be popular, but not in this way. It was that Wednesday, we're expecting to meet at Obuasi, where we launch a very important policy to solve the Galamsey Minas issue, only to be hit by this very terrible and tragic disaster. So as a leader or as a member of parliament, I came to Nananom, though we've been coming here since the day, but because it was an emergency situation, we didn't get the opportunity to meet Nananom and sit and decide on certain issues. So we came today to thank them for the cooperation that they've given so far I think when it happened, they were the people who first went to the scene, and they really cooperated well. They gave us and the security all the necessary support. So I deem it fit and a very great honor to come and say thank you to them, and also then advise them for them to talk to those who pick something from the or anything from the incident site, so that they'll bring them back. We were watching news yesterday, and that one concern was that some who first visited the scene picked some, let's say, pieces of. So it was something that we thought wise to come and talk to them, do announcement, so that if there was something they picked from the scene, they can return it to also assist for the investigation that they need to conduct. We're happy that one of them brought a watch that he picked from the site or the scene. We have handed over to the leader of the team, the armed force team, who are currently here, and that we also assisted the Nananum with something small. At least people are coming every minute or every minute. They have to give them water and other things to also, at least as custom demand. So that's why we came as a team, myself and the DC. So far, they've reported that they are living here peacefully with the security team. They've not been harassed or in any way, be intimidated in any way. So they are not having any issues with the presence of the military here. And that we've also encouraged them that they should continue to cooperate, and that as government and as a member of parliament, the little we can do to support them, especially for those that cannot access their farms or go to their farms because of the restrictions. We also take into consideration how we can also take care of them for the short time until the ban or the restriction is lifted.
So, in fact, they are concerned about the fact that this is where they feed from, and if it's going to be cordoned off for the military or the soldiers to retrieve the wreckage, it's going to be quite a difficult time for them to actually feed themselves. What measures are you putting in place to ensure these farmers can also have their livelihoods?
Yeah, so we spoken with the assembly member to give us the list of those affected, so that we will take it up. And that I think we've also spoken with the regional minister. So by the close of today, we hope to get the list, so that we will take that up and support them, so that they can have a meaningful life until the restriction is lifted. So we are working on that, and that before close of today, we'll get the list. So for now, we are in control.
And also, I want to know, are still some parts of the wreckage still there? Have you been able to take them, the wreckage?
Yeah, according to I don't know the kind of things that they want to pick from the place. I'm not expert, but for the information I have with from the leader of the team, that they still need to assess the place and pick some parts. So my information is that, as we are talking now, there are people on their way coming. Military team is coming, and they'll go to the site as they went yesterday and the first day. So they know the things that they want to. And today I've not been to the site. Yesterday I wasn't at the site. So I can't speak to what really is there and what they want to pick from there. We leave that to the team, the experts, to do that. We are trying to speak to the community, as peaceful as they are, to continue on to cooperate, so that we will not be seen as bad people, because we are not known for that. Bufoidu is very peaceful all the time. They are very kind. They are people who always cooperate when it is needed. So we are only hoping that it will continue like that. As you have seen, that there's calmness, nothing like any attacks or anything trying to obstruct anything is happening here. Everybody is ready to cooperate, and that the chief and elders has assured us that they are going to cooperate, and that they are ready not to get close to any restricted area, So with that assurance, we hope that everything will be okay for the security to assess and get whatever they need from the scene. Okay. We've also, as a member of parliament and my district chief executive, donated something, a cash amount of 5,000 for the chiefs to hold on to to use that for the expenses of certain things that they will need to also do there. And also, as a member of parliament, I've asked that they bring street bulbs to fix at where they need to be fixed, to also brighten the community for them to also have that visibility at night. When the security need to do something, they can also. So we are doing our best so far as this particular tragic is concerned.
Okay. All right, sure. And so that is the member of parliament for Akrofum, Joseph Azuma, if I have the name right. And so that's the member of parliament for Akrofum. They just finished a meeting with community members and also some military personnel to help or assist in gathering all the wreckage from the helicopter crash. And so he also says that we understand that some farmers who have their farms or plantation along the way to the scene have been prevented from going into their farms. But he has assured that as any assistance that they will need to have their livelihoods back, they will be given to them. He says that they will be having a list of the farmers. By the end of the day, they should get a list of the farmers who have been affected by this situation. So this is currently the situation on the ground as we speak, in terms of the military pitch camping here to attain or retrieve all the wreckage from the helicopter crash that happened just 2 days ago, claiming the lives of eight of Ghana's good citizens, 8 of Ghana's citizens. That's the Environment Minister, Murtala Mohammed, and also the Defense Minister, Dr. Omane Boama. But I have this farmer with me. I want to engage you. Yenyanenti yese muntimi nkwefum na sia obeye den edidi.
Ye beri de obeye din pa this is a mobile.
MP assure say obey mamo list obey by the end of the day no mubenya list of more affected nyina say mo bi wo ha de be mamo de amam say na hofa.
Oh, what unnecessary obey I no ya de. Ya mi shira no. With me amwesa akwan no so. Because the 3 days in the obi ankofo order. Komo de the 20 za iska zunia. To sere no o kansare ya dranse.
Normally na ufo ne den na wo den na yo.
Banchi wo body benkin bibia ofumo kokozu wo bibia ofumo
sisi asena na mo survive den na oye den didi sisi 3 days ni
sisi yeto sisi muzimu yemfa wondi yeto
moto den efin
yeto aduane free oyi store market on the money yi ani galimu no ni yeto to
normally nke bia nka obukutumi akọ efo makope wa aduane
kuma mkwan da betumi akwa meduane aba. Mkwan dia e betumi akwa meduane aba.
We engage a lot more with the community. So he has been explaining that for the past 3 days, they have to resort to buying from the streets, and they are hoping that the appropriate quarters or authorities would assist them, maybe in terms of monetary or anything at all, so that they can get their livelihood back themselves, and also get money to maybe buy food or anything of a sort to just for the days that the military will be pitching camp here and will be trying to retrieve all the items that were crashed in the helicopter incident. Mame, me pacho mini usundi nkomo na mpacho uwo efo wo ekwan so ana.
Pacho an.
Uwo efo wo de ben efo.
Pacho koko fu ni bode kakra.
Na ende no ye den na wodidi since wuntimi nko inside no.
Pacho emo na mekotoye, emo so kura mpo menimu di. Eno na mekotoye. Ana biscuit aberwa. Me bu bobo nsuom. Na mewe. Enko ba bia.
Ba meeting am ko no den no mo ka che mo say bia mo metimi aboa na mo ye den.
Me pacho meeting ni de ma nko bi mum. No mo ka so mboboa ye de. Nti se mboboa ye de a ma dawroma. Ye damasi. Na me nhira mo.
For the next few days, you know, obey den say I'm wanting yamba obey den personally.
Morning yamba emona na yebekwa kopre atodi. Emona badia na madagurma yenso yehu de bidi.
What you didn't then?
But your friends fire ata.
All right, sure. And so I have also been speaking with the another resident or a farmer here. She tells me she actually owns a cocoa and plantain farm along the stretch to the scene where this unfortunate incident happened. And as assured by the Member of Parliament for this area, they are gathering a list of the affected farmers to ensure that once they do not have access to their farms, they have another means to get food on their tables as the military or the rescue efforts by the military to salvage or retrieve all the wreckage from the helicopter crash is still underway here at the Sikaman Brofuyedu. So, MFA, this is currently the situation on the ground, and we'll be giving you more in our subsequent bulletin as this development also goes on. So, over to you in the studio.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel Barikweku, my colleague, who is stationed live at Dampia from bringing us updates. Definitely the Member of Parliament there, and also farmers sharing their side of the challenge as well. But over here in Accra, I'll take you to the ceremonial garden at the Jubilee House, where Hannah Odame is at the wreath laying. Hannah, how has attendance been so far? Who and who have you seen today?
Here. It's been quite sad coming. We have had a number of dignitaries and some Ghanaians come over to lay the wreath, to share a tear, and then also just speak to us. We had earlier the acting Chief Justice, Paul Bafoboni, when he came after he had represented people of the Republic of Ghana as well as the he said we should not politicize this particular incident. Of the DVLA, when they came, they also asked that we do not politicize this. In fact, that's what they have all been saying. We had the managing director of the state insurance company also coming here. As we can see, we have some more representatives coming here. They are sad. They look at the pictures. Currently, the state player for Atentembang, Ni Afole Labi, he is the one playing the flutes. And you know this tune very well in Ghana. When someone dies, it's common in our homes and in our ears. Earlier, we had the security services also here. We had representatives. In fact, the chief fire officer was here, Patience Bafoboni. She offered a prayer for the widows, the widowers, and the siblings of these fallen heroes. We also had the CEO of the Narcotics Control Board here. We had the CEO of the Immigration Service. We had the Commissioner General also here. They are all asking that the nation mourns in unity. We also had the prophetic representatives of the prophetic in Ghana, led by Prophet Niagel Gezi, but it was Prophet Ajiman Prempe who spoke. They offered special prayer for the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, because they can understand the pain with which he is in currently. And so we are here at the forecourt of the Jubilee House, where lots of representatives of institutions are here. We had Group Indum here, we had SIC here, we had DVLA here, we have had IPMC. In fact, the chief CEO of the IPMC said he just spoke to the Dr. Amane Boama last week about an impending project, and here we are today. He is on a billboard, dead. A lot of people have been asked to come here. This morning, it looks like we are having the wreath laying ceremony. But in the evening, a lot of people will be coming here to light candles, as we can see one of them here. And we have a representative currently in.
Well, away from the forecourt of the presidency, Michael Ashale is with the Director General of SIGA, who is leading heads of specific state entities to the families of Dr. Omane Boama and Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed. Michael joins us with more updates on this. Michael, what more can you report?
Well, Currently, we are en route to just before now, we were at the home of Dr. Amanibuama, the home. Unfortunately, this is the very first time that anybody at all is seeing the wife of Dr. Amanibuama. It was a very heavy atmosphere in the house and a very sad one as well. Throughout the moment, it was almost 20 minutes of conversations between the state interest and governance authority and the family of Amanibuama, and the wife did not utter a single word. Her eyes never opened as I saw. The only action she did was actually walk from the room to the sitting area, and that was all. So it's a very sad situation for the family here. But SIGA, who is led by the Acting Director General, Professor White, is leading all the state-owned agencies to extend their condolences to the families and also to lend a hand of support to them as well. Almost all of them are actually here. If you have time, I can walk you through some of them. GAPOA, GPHA, Bosch, Ghana Gas, Gridco, Ghana Publishing, Falco, MEX, the NCA, TDC, also James Kluche Aveji, who was a former member of parliament, and also now the CEO of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Randy Yado, Board CEO, Edwin Tamako, NTA CEO, again, Santo Computer, who is now with JTEC, was always here. From the home of Dr. Amanibuama, they now went to the home of Dr. Murtala Mohammed, who has also been extending the same pleasantries to the family. A very sad situation. The family did not even come out of the house to be able to meet them because they said that it was very difficult for the immediate family to do just anything at all. They were given the special privilege to rather go inside the room, and not just the house, the room of the family, to now go and have some conversations. And just when they were about leaving, we also saw the leader of the movement for change, Alan Kojo Chamatin, who was also at the home of Alhaji Murtala Mohammed, extending his condolences to the family. We've been hearing personal stories from some of these state-owned agencies telling us how closely they work with these two individuals. It's a very sad and heavy blow to them at the moment. But currently, we are in a long convoy heading to the house of Alhaji Muniru, where the state-owned agencies will extend same to the family of the late Alhaji Muniru.
Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you for that update. We'll definitely be on standby in subsequent bulletins for this update as well. Now, you're watching news today, and forensic experts in South Africa are expediting DNA analysis to identify the charred remains of the victims. Authorities say preliminary results could be available as early as today. Interior Minister Mubarak Mohammed Muntaka provided further details.
The mortal remains of Defense Minister Dr. Edward Amanibuama and Environment Minister Dr. Murtala Mohammed, along with 6 others who tragically lost their lives in a helicopter crash yesterday, have been transported to South Africa to conduct a DNA on their bodies to be able to identify who is who. Now, when the incident happened in the Ashanti region yesterday, they were burnt beyond recognition, and due to that, it has been difficult to identify the bodies with the individuals. Interior Minister Muntaka Mubarak had a few words to say.
But to speed up the investigation, obviously we need to do further examination and investigation just for the avoidance of doubt. And some of the forensic that needs to be done, taking samples have to be done outside the country. So that's why we are trying to fast track, and you see all that. I want to thank the families sincerely for all the cooperation that we've had from them and the support they've shown. We know they are grieving, they are in a hurry to have their family members so that they can attend them. But we are happy that they are cooperating with us, because it's not just about burying. It's beyond burying, trying to establish what happened, how things went, so that we avoid it into the future. We've been working around the clock just to speed up everything. We are hoping that in the next 6-12 hours, they will be able to give us some results.
Their bodies are expected back in Ghana as soon as the DNA is concluded. they were accompanied to South Africa by some Ghanaian delegation, which included officials from the Criminal Investigation Department. Or the family of Muntaka Mohammed, who is a Muslim, would have wished that he was buried today according to the customs of Islam, but due to the nature of how they were burned, that wish will have to wait. From the Kotoka International Airport, my name is Kenneth Jesse for Joy News.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Academy of Forensic Sciences, in a statement issued yesterday, are raising concerns about the handling of the crash scene and how the victims were transported. And we have the president, Dr. Pete Paul Wepeba, in studio joining us. And we want to really understand. So after reviewing the footage, you'd say that's something untoward, or the way the whole handling of the wreckage and even the transportation of the bodies. What do you see is wrong with it?
Thank you for having me, and thank you. Good afternoon to our viewers. I think our statement that we issued yesterday stems from the fact that the way and manner that the dead was treated was dignified. We saw a couple of footages online where, certain elements that were actually used to transport the bodies were not the appropriate, body bags that were supposed to actually have been used for that. That is one. Two, the locals, after the incident happened, the way...
Doc, I'm so sorry, I'll have to just catch you, but I'll come back to you. We'll take our viewers live back to the ceremonial grounds at the forecourt where Dr. Josh Alabi is speaking.
The tragic loss of 8 brave souls who lost their lives in that tragic helicopter crash. I've had opportunity with my colleagues to have worked with all of them very closely. And I must say, their dedication to service, and their sacrifice for their nation is something we shall never forget. It is a colossal tragedy, and our condolences goes to the families of the 8 of them. Our condolences goes to the government and people of Ghana, and our condolences goes to all friends and sympathizers. I'm here with my 3 colleagues who were also very close to them. Fairly well, Dr. Omani-Boama, who I worked with when I was the campaign manager and he was the director of elections. Fairly well, my brother Mutala from Tamale, very close. And just last Tuesday, I was with Dr. Sapon. Little did I know our conversation was to see him off. Till we meet again, God bless all of us. Amen. Now, for our gallant soldiers, they died in service. We shall forever remember them. Our colleague Abuaji, you did your part. And may your gentle soul rest in peace. Thank you very much.
Professor Joshua Alabi just sharing his tribute there. Now, back in the studio, Doc, we're just talking about what you identified or what you noticed in that footage. And let's just pick up from there. You're mentioning some of how they were transported, no body bags and all. Can you pick up from there? Right. So apart from the transportation, the way the footages were taken were not dignified. In fact, this is a problem with the media, the locals, and all of us. And I think it comes up to the point that because we don't have a national forensic policy or strategy, people do not really understand how to be able to manage some of these situations when they arise. Because you have seen, I suppose, on social media, footages of, charred bodies and all of that, and it is not the best way to handle dead bodies. You should handle them with that respect that is needed. Again, some of the locals are said to have picked pieces of the wreckage back home as memorabilia and all of that. And, in situations like this, it could be just a bit of that piece that is taken home. That would be an answer to, the antecedents that actually led to the crash. So that is why we are naturally happy with the way it was handled. And largely it is due to the fact that there's lack of education for all of us, including the media. You could see media personnel chasing the grieved and even asking, how do you feel about your loss and all of that, putting them through that trauma and all of that. So I think if we have a national forensic policy document, it would go a long way to be able to help address some of these challenges going forward. In the scheme of investigation affairs, what will be the role of the Ghana Academy of Forensic Sciences? What would be your role particularly? Yes, I think formally we haven't been contacted, but we did indicate in our press release that we are more than happy to lend our expertise, our support to government or any, investigative body that is actually involved in unraveling the events that actually led to this tragic, event, because in forensic science, we are able to put all the pieces together to reconstruct the happenings before, accidents and all of that. And it is one of the roles that forensic scientists are going to play to actually be able to help get to the bottom of it, to know what actually led to the crash in the first place. You talk about just a little piece of the wreckage that could really matter a lot during investigation. Yeah. That is quite clear. On the way the bodies were transported, do you think that it can really impede any form of investigation? I mean, DNA collection and also what they were hoping to receive today. Does it affect it in any way? And which better way could it have been done? Well, why we thought they should have used body bags is that it has public health implications. Because those who are going to carry these bodies, their lives will be at risk. You don't know what you're carrying, whether there are some pathogens, disease-causing organisms that you're going to, come in contact with by way of transferring these bodies in, inappropriate material to the mortuaries and all of that. But again, because of the fact that the bodies are charred, in situations like this, we have what we call co-mingled bodies. You have pieces of bodies that you're not sure whose parts these bodies are. So you have to be able to handle them with care and put them in a zipped up body bags to get to the mortuary, so the forensic pathologist or the general pathologist will do the autopsy, pick the pieces together and be able to help in the identification process. What's time of essence at all? At the time, they talk of the distance and the time that it happened, and maybe they had to use what was available to them. Wouldn't matter in terms of forensics. Was time of essence at all? Yes, that is why we're talking very much about this forensic policy document, because if we do have something like that, all the agencies involved will be prepared all time, to be able to carry along what is needed to these sites to be able to do, what is to be done according to international best practices. If you even go to the Interpol website, it spells out all of these things, how these things are handled and all of that, so we can all be okay and not have, any problem going forward for those who are handling and then subsequently identify the bodies. But to talk of, the way and manner
by which they carry the bodies affecting the DNA testing. That it can only make it complex, but it wouldn't affect anything. Mind you, in DNA testing, we have what we call direct testing, like paternity testing, maternity testing. You just take 2 samples from 2 separate people and compare whether they are same. But in this instance, you have 8 people, and one profile could have 8 different people's DNA. So that makes it complex, difficult for you to be able to decipher whose DNA is this, whose profile is this, to be able to use mathematical inclinations to be able to decipher all of that. That makes it a bit difficult. So it's not like the normal DNA testing that people are talking of for paternity or maternity testing.
Does it surprise you that the Interior Minister says that we can get the results very early, as soon as today? I'm not surprised, because if you had what was actually needed to do this, this is something that one could have done overnight. Okay. All right. Okay. South Africa has advanced forensic labs that are ISO accredited. They have contemporary equipment that can help do this, and it is only proper that we do same in Ghana, try to be able to help with capacity building to have this, and because we have all the human resource that is needed. Right. All the people that are going to do this in South Africa, we meet them in conferences, we work with them, and all of that. It is something that is basic for any forensic scientist to be able to do. Right. But if you don't have what is needed, you cannot do. So it is lack of equipment and infrastructure, and not human resource. Dr. Wefeba, finally, before I end this conversation with you, how easy or difficult is it to start the policy conversation? That wouldn't be a difficult thing. We had actually planned to have a conference, an inaugural conference on the 6th of September in Legon to actually discuss these issues. Little did we know something like this was going to happen. Oh, the conference that you were going to have was scheduled earlier? No, it's going to be on the 6th of September. Before, this plan you had before the accident? Yeah, we had the plan before, just to talk about the need for Ghana to have a national forensic policy or strategy to be able to handle some of these situations when they arise, and, this unfortunate incident did come. So I think it is at the right time for government and, the powers that be to listen to us, attend the conference, engage us for us to all sit together and, develop the policy that can help move Ghana forward, serve as a forensic hub for the sub-region, because we're sending samples to South Africa. If we develop it properly, because we have the human resource, we'll have other sending samples to Ghana, and we have, the forest remaining in Ghana and not going out. Thank you so much, Dr. Wefeba, for joining us today. Thank you for having me. Now, amid widespread speculation surrounding the cause of the military helicopter crash, attention has turned to the black box, a critical flight recorder that could hold the answers to what may have gone wrong. Did you know the black box is not black? There's more in the following report.
Black box in airplanes refers to 2 essential flight recorders that are crucial for investigating accidents and understanding the final moments of a flight. Despite the name, these devices are actually painted bright orange to enhance visibility during recovery operations. The black box is built to withstand extreme conditions, including high-impact crashes, intense fires, and deep-sea pressure. It is usually installed at the rear of the aircraft, as this section is more likely to remain intact in the event of a crash. There are 2 main components of the black box: the flight data recorder FDR and the cockpit voice recorder CVR. The FDR captures a wide range of technical data from the flight, such as airspeed, altitude, heading, and engine performance. It can record hundreds to thousands of parameters depending on the aircraft systems. This helps investigators reconstruct the plane's trajectory and system behavior over time. The CVR on the other side records audio from the cockpit, typically covering the last 2 hours of a flight. It captures pilot conversations, radio transmissions with air traffic control, and ambient sounds in the cockpit, such as the alarms or engine noises. This audio evidence provides insight into the crew's actions, decisions, and possible problems they encountered before an accident occurred. In addition to their rugged design, most black boxes are fitted with an underwater locator beacon ULB that activates when submerged in water. This beacon emits signals for up to 30 days, assisting search teams in locating the device. Overall, the black box serves as the memory of the aircraft, playing a vital role in improving aviation safety and preventing future accidents by revealing what went wrong or right during a flight. The sources for this information are the Federal Aviation Administration FAA, Bureau of Aircraft Accident Archives BAAA, and National Transportation Safety Board NTSB.
Now, a board of inquiry has been established to determine the exact cause of the crash. President Mahama has also confirmed that flight data contained in the aircraft black box have been recovered to support the ongoing investigation.
What I'd like to say is we should trust them. They have the level of competence. They know what they're doing, okay? So let us trust them to do their work. With that particular one, that was a civil aircraft. So that falls under our mandate, okay? What we're doing is, fortunately, there are no fatalities or anything like that. We are seeking, as I said, you collect information first. So we're in the process of getting the preliminary information we want, and then we'll take it from there. We're waiting for the report from them. All I would say is, in fairness, whenever there's an investigation, the public obviously would speculate and so on and so forth. But those of us in the investigative field, what we do is we are only interested in facts. We don't like to speculate, okay? That is why I kept saying to you that, in fairness, let the military do their work. They will come up with whatever. People who don't have I don't have the facts, so I can't comment.
Okay.
It would be wrong to do so.
Okay.
And while much attention has been focused on the high-profile state officials who perished in the crash, little is known about the 6 other victims aboard the ill-fated helicopter. This report shifts the spotlight onto their stories.
In 1967, in the Savannah region, the acting Deputy National Security Coordinator in charge of human security, Alhaji Mohammed Muniru Limuna, would have celebrated his 59th birthday on Friday. He served as a Northern Regional Minister, the Upper East Regional Minister, the Minister of Food and Agriculture, and a Minister of State in charge of Human Resources Department and Scholarships at the presidency during the first term of President Mahama's administration. Alhaji Limuna obtained a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Ghana. He then went on to study for a postgraduate diploma in health policy, planning and financing at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. Samuel Sapon was born on the 10th of November 1957 at Ejiso in the Ashanti region. He obtained his GCEO level at the Osei Tutu Senior High School. He then pursued a 3-year teacher training education at the Wesley College in Kumasi. From 1981 to 1984, the former sports teacher at the Drebin Secondary School was also the Ashanti Regional Minister from 2013 to 2015. At the time of his death, he was the Vice Chairman of the NDC.
The Aircraft Investigative Department is urging calm as it begins probing the helicopter crash. Investigator Captain Paul Fodjo says the team is competent to uncover the cause. This comes amid concerns after another helicopter made an emergency landing at Ejimako Kokobin in the central region earlier, just an hour before the Ashanti region tragedy.
What I'd like to say is we should trust them. They have the level of competence. They know what they're doing. Okay, so let us trust them to do their work. With that particular one, that was a civil aircraft. So that falls under our mandate, okay? What we're doing is, fortunately, there are no fatalities or anything like that. We are seeking, as I said, you collect information first. So we're in the process of getting the preliminary information we want, and then we'll take it from there. We're waiting for the report from them. All I would say is, in fairness, whenever there's an investigation, the public obviously would speculate and so on and so forth. But those of us in the investigative field, what we do is we are only interested in facts. We don't like to speculate, Okay? That is why I kept saying to you that, in fairness, let the military do their work. They will come up with whatever. People who don't have I don't have the facts, so I can't comment.
Okay.
It would be wrong to do so.
Okay.
Razak Musbah has been engaging some of you about the tragic incident.
Traffic light on. And yeah, on first no MP4 higher pa na change of government by and then edi o many buama ebetena so no e na omu pese omu mpam ye nyina free traffic was e maye nton ade na nyankopon ya adom obaye no e na okajo se yenja ye bebi obia enya ne nsam eduane di yenja na ye ejuma tinia yeti se owo ye na nura ne eye ya pa eye ya nti wa ye bia amaye.
I was at work when I heard it. In fact, my demeanor changed because this thing supposed not to happen. And actually, though accident can occur at any time, but this one, I don't believe it. There's something inside, to me, my knowledge, because I was once a soldier, and I know how military take its operations before we set off to a mission. Technically, there's something wrong somewhere, and which we need to go deep into it to find out so that this thing will not happen again.
I go sock. I am a yapa, TDC, you know. I am in fact, I Jimmy, some men who say about Sagana, I wait my happisa. A vampire say, Radimoyana, it's hard and busy on my beam. My beam, but a city I can Bahajin Tini. Best pen inform my say, Mampa Boni and him, and Mampa Boni and him, Pana, the Ecosom, and nodding.
Concerning the incident, I'm very, very sad. Although I don't have a link with any of them, but we are all human. I can put myself into their shoes, equally like people that they take care of them.
You're still watching News Today and in World Today. Let's take you to Kenya now, where an air ambulance has crashed into a residential area near the capital, Nairobi, killing at least 6 people and injuring 2 others, according to a local official. The mid-sized jet took off from Wilson Airport at 2:17 p.m. local time on Thursday and was en route to Somalia when it came down in Ruiru, Kiambu County shortly after 3 p.m. Images taken by reporters from the AFP news agency on the scene showed huge crowds had gathered as rescue teams from the Kenya Red Cross and first responders picked through the scattered debris. Watching News Today, please stay. There's more after this.
For Showbiz, my name is Loishola Adeyemi. Now let's get into our stories. This one says that thousands of Ghanaians and fans of music icon Daddy Lumba gathered at Independence Square with his family for a moving candlelight vigil in his honor. A similar vigil was scheduled to take place in Kumasi a week later. However, news reaching us is that the Creative Arts Agency has indefinitely postponed the Kumasi edition, which was originally scheduled for Saturday, 9th August 2025. This decision was announced in a press statement dated 7th August 2025, signed by the Acting Executive Secretary of the agency, Gideon Ayikwe. Gideon Ayikwe now joins us via Zoom. Thanks for joining us, sir. Good afternoon. Oh, he joins us on phone.
Thanks for having me.
Right. Now, the Kumasi vigil has been postponed indefinitely. Can you give us more insight into the reasons behind this decision and what the future plans are?
Right. Obviously, what just happened with the crash of our heroes, the helicopter crash of our heroes, actually informed our decision. Indeed, we had earlier thought of going ahead with the program and finding a way to marry program that will eulogize them, together with what we are going to do in Kumasi for Daddy Lumba. Because when we got to Kumasi, the euphoria there was pretty overwhelming. Indeed, they had seen Greater Accra, well, according to them, they thought the initial communication was that, or the initial plan was to have the vigil simultaneously, that of Accra and Kumasi. And then we got, calls from Kumasi that we should separate the two. And so we decided to do Accra and do Kumasi the following week.
Right.
So they were pretty enthusiastic about it. Everybody was looking forward to it until this accident occurred. We had a meeting with the Ashanti Regional Minister, the Mayor of Kumasi, and of course the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NDC, because these are government people. If we could go ahead with the program or not, because the vigil was also another kind of funeral. Indeed, it wasn't a merrymaking event. It wasn't a concert. It was a vigil in honor of somebody who's also fallen.
Right.
And so it was the minister's decision that, yes, we try and create something within the program, and he would himself be there to pay tribute or to the fallen heroes. So that's what we were going to do until we had the president's directive of 3-day mourning, which actually ends on that day. But we thought that if it was going to end on that day, we need to give it some grace.
Right. All right. Thank you so much for speaking to us. And well, there you heard from George Ayikwe, Gideon Ayikwe, sorry. Over to you, Mefadeti.
For bringing us that very important update, Lois Shola Adeyemi. And that'll be all today. But you want to stay with us because we definitely will be taking you to the ceremonial garden in front of the presidency, or the forecourt of the presidency, bringing you everybody that is there to commiserate with the president and as well the country. I'm MF Fakusi Adeteni. If you do log on to myjoyonline.com, there'll be more stories.